Remember, 22422 is the SMS line, and the hashtag is Newsnight. These are your thoughts this evening. Let's start with Ole Carrington. You say, it's the ODM party that pronounced NASA dead, but still wears its carcass whenever it suits them. The reality is that NASA partner parties are either working independently or warming up for other formations. All right. Let's see what else Kenyans are saying this evening. Kigina Jr. says, Honorable Malala, what's the way forward? Do you want NASA to reconcile, or do you want the team to go separate ways and for every NASA principal to go it alone to the ballot come 2022? Okay, that's a question there. I'll make sure we get a response. Jojo Max 2, you say NASA is politically dead but legally in existence. Okay. I think we got that thought there. Nyantika Chester, you say, I think the issue of NASA coalition has been exaggerated. NASA is not the first coalition to exist in Kenya since the inception of multi-partism democracy. Man is a political animal, and politics is dynamic. And this is what you're saying on our SMS line 22422. You say, this is Abbas from Mandera. You say, there was hope for NASA to revive before this show tonight. But after some of the statements that have been made this evening, I expect a burial from tomorrow. Edwin from Kisumu says, hi Newsnight, as the big shots argue, there are other candidates out there who may get elected in place of their candidates. Are they aware of that? And someone is saying, you dare your guests to conduct a mock poll now to know which party is the most popular. We don't have time for that. So how do we move forward? Honorable Mbui, let me start with you on this one. What's the way forward? What is Wiper's wish? To stay within NASA? Is it One Kenya Alliance? And what does that offer Kenyans?
Waiga, it's One Kenya Alliance. That's a way forward.
It's One Kenya Alliance.
But let me say this. You know, there is some comments my brother has made, and I think it's only fair that I say this here. That I think as leaders, we have our national leaders. Our former leader of NASA, the Right Honorable Raila, Kalonzo, Wetangula, Musalia, and I think we owe it to them some level of dignity and respect. And I know when you say that some of these parties are ticks, coupe, I mean, that's really
it's a figure of speech. It's an analogy.
I know it's an analogy. But you know, I've had that comment. So I know who is supposedly the tick. So I didn't. You know, it feels very. You know, you really feel belittled. And you know, the reality is that these leaders can come back together. And what happens to us if we've been fighting, you know, the other leaders? Now, on the part of this issue of by-elections, you know, I need to say this, that ODM are the ones who started the mistrust on issue of by-elections. We had won the seat for Embakasi South. And when we went for a by-election, they were not meant to field a candidate against us. And they did. And we went for that fight and beat them thoroughly, hands down. Now, I want to tell you why we are disgruntled, and that's why we didn't support them in Kibra. Because in 2013, we had a similar situation. We had a candidate of Wiper who actually was fighting with an ODM candidate in Kisii. And the ODM candidate, when the by-election was called, Wiper withdrew its candidacy. And that member of Wiper defected to another party and actually won the seat. So we would have had the seat, but we didn't give them our ticket. In the spirit, on the spirit of the brotherliness and accord. So we felt aggrieved when in 2017 they couldn't reciprocate. And so when they went to Kibra, we didn't field a candidate against them, but we didn't go to support them. We kept off because we realized, I mean, it's unfair. They were insulting us, or you know, they were fighting us, or trying to take away a seat that we had won. And we are saying this, they are our big brothers. When food is put on the table, you don't eat everything. Take your share and leave the food for your other brothers to also grow. I mean, you can't have one fat big brother and the others are, you know, skinny brothers, because everything is being eaten by one big brother. That's the real problem.
And you feel that's the situation, that's a real tonight. Problem. These were supposed to be final comments. Please, let's make them final. Sifuna?
Yeah, you see, I want to beg, let us have an honest discussion about the issues in NASA. Embakasi South, he's lying again. The former member of parliament, when we went into the election in 2017, the election, the MP for Embakasi South was Ishad Sumra, who was an ODM member. This election happens, and the Wiper candidate is declared winner by about 300 votes. The matter goes all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court says this thing has to be, you know, repeated. What happens? How can you expect that a political party, the seat was ours in 2017. How do we not field a candidate? In Kibra, he's lying. He's saying they didn't have a candidate. Kalonzo came with the Prezo, the musician. Then he discovered that he's not getting any traction. He pulled the candidate out. In Machakos, just recently, ODM openly supported Wiper candidate as recent as the Machakos by-election. So I don't know what they're talking about. In 2017, I remember us withdrawing a candidate in Wajir. What is Duale's constituency? Garissa Central, so that Farah Maalim could actually have a chance to beat Duale. We lost Langata by a margin of 1,000 votes, Wahiga, because the Wiper Secretary General, my friend Judy Sijeni, refused to step down for the ODM candidate. She got 5,000 votes. Nixon Corina kapita katikati na kura 1,000. What they were trying to do in Kibra, my brother, you know, true friendship has to be true friendship. If an enemy is unable to get into my house, but the friend who knows me is the one directing the thief and telling him that, by the way, this front door is weaker than the back door, pitia hapa uingie. That is what they were trying to do in Kibra. So I want to say finally that in fact there is a gentleman.
Even as you tell us, if you're the bigger brother,
finally,
who is denying his.
No, I don't want to go into that because I have explained to them that if I eat my food and you eat yours, if I get fat on my own food, you don't need to begrudge me. I'm not eating your food. It's mine. If we had gotten the presidential vote, which is shareable, we would have shared. There's a gentleman in ANC, actually. He's called Professor Mkoa Nangwe, who has done fantastic research about coalitions in this country. The conclusion in his document, and I doubt that the people in ANC have read it, but I want to tell them that the coalition, the conclusion in the document by Professor Mkoa Nangwe on coalition is that they are inimical to the development of independent, strong political parties with ideologies. Because what happens is, they claim that we are all the same. We are not the same, Wahiga. Sometimes you get to compromise so much in order to accommodate your colleagues that you lose your actual...
your soul.
Your soul.
What makes
When I was appointed as SG, I said ODM would no longer walk on its knees so that our short friends can feel good about themselves. And that is what we have done. We want people to negotiate with who are our equals.
So who are you negotiating?
So right now, we are in a conversation with Jubilee. This is a political party that can claim to be on the same pegging as ODM. They tell us, oh, Jubilee is a shell. What is Ford Kenya without Wafula Wamunyinyi and Governor Wangamati? What is ANC without the most eloquent SG that is out there other than Sifuna, Barack Muluka? After he left, what is ANC? What is Wiper after Mudama left? So instead of having 3 shells, if we go for one big shell, why would you begrudge us?
You haven't mentioned the guest sitting next to you. He's also part of Wiper.
No, I've asked what is Wiper without Mudama.
I'm shocked when you mention Mudama. Mudama is, what influence does Mudama have in our party?
Well, he's not here, so let's leave it at that. Senator Malala,
you saw what happened in the by-election.
Senator Malala?
Wahiga, I think my brother Sifuna is suffering from what we call selective amnesia. He's living in the past. He's living in utopia. He's having so many imaginary images in his head. We are lamenting about sharing of the gains of our coalition, not only of the political fund that we get from the government. We are lamenting it. We are lamenting from a point of view that even our regions have not benefited out of the extramarital affair that the leader of NASA got into. As we speak right now, in the entire Western region has not had any flagship project since we got into the handshake, and therefore
Oparanya was opening a fish processing plant just recently, and you are the ones killing Mumias.
The person who went to represent Western region in the name of numbers has not given us any flagship projects. Look at the prioritization of the projects. Recently, we saw them launching a dam along River Nyando. The people of Budalangi deserve a dam, but it was not mentioned. They have not been prioritized. Look at the industries in Western region. Nzoia is dead, Pan Paper is dead, Mumias is grappling. Now we want to lease out Mumias Sugar Company because of a debt of around 5 billion shillings. Instead of the person who we sent to the handshake to negotiate on behalf of the people of Western region, to tell government to give them 5 billion write off the KRA debts, and Mumias Sugar will be up on its feet. Why has he forgotten about the same people who have voted for him?
Okay, it was supposed to be...
And therefore, our way forward on this is that in 2022 we are going to look for fresh partners. That is why the idea of One Kenya Alliance has come in.
Okay.
We are going to look at partners who can understand us, as partners who can be ready to support us. We don't want egocentric partners, arrogant partners. Look at the way my brother Sifuna is speaking. He's speaking with utmost disrespect to our leaders. And Sifuna, you might be speaking right now because you're the Secretary General of ODM, but I want to remind you that we have had people in that position who are now languishing and lamenting in tears. Remember,
yeah, but I'm here now. I am here now. Yeah, I'm here now. Every man must die, Malala. You know that. And you are being dishonest. We were opening a fish processing plant in Kakamega just recently. And the problems to do with Mumias are very well known to you. You shouldn't even bring up Mumias. You know what we know about you and Mumias. I don't want to defame you here. But
yes,
you know it.
I am at the center of Mumias because the government has failed to help our people to resuscitate Mumias.
Okay, gentlemen.
At the moment, Mumias is under receivership.
Okay.
It is the responsibility of the person who got our votes and negotiated space in government in this name of handshake to speak on behalf of our people.
Gentlemen, these were supposed to be final comments. We are going to leave them at that.
You haven't given me the chance for the last comment.
Oh, no, I had. You are the first to the last. Okay, literally 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Okay, thank you. I think the issue of... I just wanted to tell my brother that if the ODM is saying they can't live on their knees because we are short, I want to remind him that Taita Taveta, we beat them hands down for the governor position. In Bakassi South, we beat them thoroughly. You don't belittle us. We are equal partners. And when we go into a coalition, we want to go into a coalition of equal partners with the utmost respect for each other. And that is the respect we give ODM.
Oh my goodness.
And that is the state of the National Super Alliance. We're going to leave it at that. Thank you so much to my guests who have joined us for this discussion. Very revelatory in terms of what's going on and some of the issues, a better understanding of the state of the National Super Alliance. We have had Cleophas Malala, the senator from ANC Party, joining us from Mombasa. And in studio, Robert Mbui, organizing secretary, Wiper, not happy with the comments from sharpshooting Edwin Sifuna, Secretary General of ODM. But that is the state of politics, and we're going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for having tuned in, whichever part of the country or the world you are joining us from this evening. And thanks so much for your feedback on 22422, and as always on the hashtag NewsNight. On behalf of the whole team that's made this broadcast possible, thank you for having tuned in. Our sign language interpreter this evening has been Yulan Zale. And on behalf of the whole team, it's good night, goodbye. We'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Wahiga Moore.